guys, welcome back. In this part, we're going to cover solving inequalities when we have variables on both sides and when we have some unusual types of solutions. So at the top of your paper, again, we have some notes. At the beginning, first thing you need to remember is that on the left-hand side, that is our less than side. So when we're talking about less than, we're talking about things that are generally pointing to the left, and when we're talking about the right-hand side, that's greater than. So as a quick example, if I have a number like negative 4, a number that's greater than that is negative 3 or negative 2. So negative 6 is less than. It doesn't have to necessarily be positive or negative. You can have negative numbers that are greater than other negative numbers. That's going to be important a little bit later in the lesson. Another thing you should remember is that when we are multiplying or dividing by a negative sign, we're going to flip the inequality. That's one of the things we discovered in the previous lesson. And then a new concept is that when you get a statement that is categorically true, so this is always true, that 5 is greater than 0, if you get something like that, our answer is going to be all real numbers. If you get something that is categorically false, like 0 is greater than 5, in that case, our answer is going to be no solution. So that's going to be the new concept that we're going to delve into today. So the directions here say solve for the indicated variable. So we have f is our variable on both sides of the equal sign. We're going to want to get those together. I always recommend moving the variable that is smaller or more negative. So since this is negative 2 and that's positive 10, I'm going to move the negative 2 by adding 2f to both sides. Plus 2f. And then we end up with 8 plus 12f is greater than 14. We want to get 12 by itself, so I'm going to subtract 8 on both sides, minus 8. That gives us 12f is greater than or equal to, sorry, not equal to, just greater than 6. Divide by 12 on both sides, divide by 12, and I have to carry that work right over here. And our final answer, when you multiply and divide by 12, that undoes itself, leaving us with just 1f is equal to, not equal to, is greater than, let me get my symbol correct, 6 divided by 12. 6 divided by 12 is a fraction, but it's a pretty nice one if you reduce it. It is 1/2. You could also write that, or f is greater than 0.5. You'll see me stick with fractions because those are the types of numbers that I generally prefer to work with when we're doing mathematical operations like adding, subtracting, multiplying, dividing, but decimals can work as well. For part B here, we're working with w's. We have w's in multiple locations. So the first thing that I'm going to do is combine them together on this side. So we're going to put 2w plus 1w, and that's going to be 3w. Minus 7 is less than 3w minus 5. Now, because these are the exact same size, it doesn't matter which one I move. Let's say I move this one over here. Minus 3w minus 3w, an interesting thing happens. When I add and subtract 3, those drop out. So that's going to become 0. That whole thing is gone, leaving me with negative 5. Is greater than, again, this whole thing drops out, because just like this did, 3w minus 3w is 0w. That's gone. And we get negative 5. The question is negative 5 greater than negative 7? If that is a true statement, which it is, our answer is going to be all real numbers. That means that you could plug in any number you would want to for w, as long as it's a real number, and it will make those two sides of the inequality a true statement, which is a pretty unique thing. Down below here in C, we have a very similar type of question. I'm going to need to distribute this 2 to both of the things inside the parentheses. I need to distribute this 10 to both things inside of my parentheses. We have 10c minus 14 is greater than or equal to 10c minus 3. Again, we can subtract 10c on both sides because they are exactly balanced. Neither of them is greater. And we get negative 14 because that becomes 0c and drops out. This also becomes 0c and drops out of our equation. And we get that negative 14 is greater than -3. That is a false statement. This one was a true statement, which led us to all real numbers. This one's a false statement. So our answer is no solution. There is no number that you could plug in, as long as it's a real number, on the left side and the right-hand side that is going to make that a true statement. All right, that's all I have for you guys for today. Enjoy the rest of your day.